our lives. Greg Rakestraw brought to you every Friday by Penn Station Sandwiches. Hot, juicy, fresh from the grill. Grab a Penn Station sandwich today. Greg Rakestraw, happy high school week 1 morning to you. And, of course, happy preseason game number 2 eve, if you will, as well. Good morning, Rake.
Good morning, gentlemen. By the way, that's Mr. Rakestraw to you guys. Secondly, Mark, how's your sister-in-law doing? Hope things are good.
She's great. Not sure how if the locks will be changed on the house when I get home, though.
Thirdly, I'm about to drive by my favorite Penn Station location as I'm driving through downtown Broad Ripple after dropping off, kid 1, and then the drop-off for kid 2 follows about 30 minutes from that. Do I get free sandwiches out of this deal?
Rake, I will say this. When next time you go, I can't answer to that, but the next time you are in there, if you don't get the chocolate chip cookie, you are dead to me. The chocolate chip cookies at Penn Station are the greatest dessert checkout things I've ever seen in my life. You know, all these places, they've got little dessert just staring at you at the checkout. If you get the Penn Station chocolate chip cookie, you will have no regrets. Never trust me for anything else in your life more than this comment.
Kevin, you're a wonderful friend and offering great life advice. You see me on the sidelines. Doesn't it look like I already indulge in plenty of the Penn Station chocolate chip cookies?
I love you. Notre Dame trip this winter. Consider that and a Mountain Dew, and I will have you covered here up US 31.
That's really all you need in life right there.
Again, that's Greg Rakestraw. Kind enough to join us here on this Friday morning. It's Football Friday. Rake, let's start with the high school. I am all about it. I'm excited that the kids are getting back out there on the field tonight. We have a huge game with Brownsburg at Lawrence North. And is that the matchup that you're circling? And also tell us where you're going to be. I'm assuming you're going to be somewhere tonight.
That is the matchup where I'll be. And the week 1 slate is phenomenal. I mean, I think there are 6 outstanding teams in 6A, and 4 of them play each other tonight because Warren Central's playing Center Grove tonight too. So there's going to be a great game in different parts of town tonight. Carmel and Fisher should be interesting. Ben Davis and Cathedral ain't going to be too bad. So there is some variously good games around the area this evening. But yes, Brownsburg and Lawrence North has my attention.
All right, Rake, you were stumping me yesterday with the old Jesse Bates-related trivia question. Will you provide that to the audience about the unique aspect to tonight up there in Fort Wayne?
All right, so Fort Wayne Snyder, multi-state championship team, Fort Wayne Snyder, has never had their own football stadium until now and dedicates their new stadium tonight. And what phenomenal timing that Jesse Bates is in town with the Atlanta Falcons as a proud alum and has a day off. And I would imagine he might be given a breather from some sort of curfew violation for going to see his high school alma mater break in a new stadium, knowing that, yes, it's a 1 o'clock kickoff tomorrow, but you and I both know Jesse Bates ain't playing in that game. So I would hope to all things good he is in Fort Wayne at the game this evening.
And you were dropping on me one of 3 Fort Wayne Snyder jerseys that are retired, and it's a pretty good company?
Anytime you're lumped in as a defensive back with Rod Woodson, that's pretty good, and Roosevelt Barnes would be the other. But, yes, guys that all play in the National Football League from Snyder have all had their numbers retired. Or maybe maybe Von Dunbar's in that mix too, as a guy that saw time in the league. I'm not sure if that's the case, but that kind of tells you the pedigree that they have up at Snyder High School.
That, of course, the voice of Greg Rakestraw. It is high school football week 1, and the Rake schedule is busy each of the next 2 Saturday afternoons. Lucas Oil is where he will call home. It'll be him. It'll be Rick Venturi, Lara Overton. I said this to you last Friday, Rake. Absolutely loved hearing all of your voices in my ears. I'm going to have to go headphones in the press box on Saturday to hear you guys. One thing offensively and defensively that you're keeping your eye out for tomorrow.
Well, obviously, you touched on the fact that running backs are in short supply. Having, 5 on the roster, we all know JT's not playing. And with guys getting banged up in practice this week, it may be time to storm the castle tomorrow for the Indianapolis Colts. And I saw this last week in New England, they signed a guy that day, and he was playing that night. So they're either Roydale Williams might get a phone call back or somebody else might be getting a phone call for some immediate action. Obviously, the other thing on offense is just, does Riley Leonard look better? Can Anthony Richardson maintain? Again, for AR, was it perfect? No, but was it more good than bad? Absolutely. Now, in theory, he's going to be playing with the threes as compared to playing with the twos. And the other thing isn't more offense or defense. Maybe it's more on defense because of assuming we're going to see C.J. Allen get to play when we didn't get to see him play last week. But for the most part, the draft picks look like they all belong. They were the guys that were making impact plays. Obviously, Caden Curry got your attention. A.J. Halsey got your attention. Not sure if the Colts feel a need to play him tomorrow as they did the previous week. But the rookies all stood out. And so can they do that again? Can they stack back-to-back good performances? So, honestly, for the guys that played well, it's just kind of maintaining what you did in the first preseason game that I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow.
Again, that is the voice of Greg Rakestraw. He was one of many cheering me on in the 40-yard dash yesterday. Rake, I appreciate the kind words, the ability to kind of get me going, and I tried to deliver as best I could.
Well, I also worked as your PR man. I tried to gather up all local media to put, and I thought the coverage from Channel 13 was tremendous. Obviously, Dom was on the show earlier this morning, but Dom handled the social media filming. Eli Gain took me to heart and actually brought his full-on camera.
Oh, I got to check that out.
I thought this would make for interesting news and or for insurance archival footage in case it was needed, in case something went horrifically wrong,
yes,
which it did not. You actually looked like at some point in time you might have been an athlete as you were running.
At some point in time, the first thing he asked me afterwards, KB, was, does everything still work or something like that? And I was like, yes. So everything is all good. Everything still works. Getting back to the Colts and obviously more important athletes, unlike myself, who is washed up, I'm looking at Keenan Allen, who is not washed up. He is somebody who is going into year 14 and it continues to be kind of the Frank Gore of wide receivers. What do you think of that addition, Rake, and what he could mean for this Colts offense that now does not have Michael Pittman Jr.?
Correct. He brings a lot of the things that Michael Pittman Jr. did for this team. Not an exact replica, but does so at a significantly reduced rate, at a much more cap-friendly number. And again, he walks in not just with instant credibility, but with instant knowledge of Shane Steichen's offense. Clearly, there is a mutual admiration society between those two guys, and they know each other so well that Shane will get the best out of what Keenan has left at this point. So even if he is on the downside of his career, you're getting one of the great receivers in NFL history. I mean, just look at the catch numbers that he has put up. So you get a guy that can move the chains on third down, which is valuable. You obviously now put Downs kind of more back in the slot. You kind of bump Ashton Doolin back to be more of a special teams player, which helps significantly Nick Westbrook-Akina, who's looked good. I think he's still going to make the roster. I think he's going to be more of a depth piece. The pieces just fit better, even if it doesn't answer every offensive need, and even if they're still concerned about Alec Pierce and the deep ball threat. Allen's going to help you move the chains, move the football, period. The Colts are a better football team because he's on it. And so that should make everybody smile.
That is the voice of Greg Rakestraw. Again, Ellen Brownsburg tonight speaks for itself. Preseason game number 2 coming up tomorrow. Do we have a time? I know you hinted a few weeks ago with us. Do we have a time for the special guest appearance in the booth tomorrow, Rake?
Third quarter, special guest will be in the booth with myself and Rick Venturi. Third quarter.
Any more hints you care to drop? And before you offer one or think about offering one, how about I offer you word that you are going to get some free Penn Station coupons?
Hey! All right.
How about that reaction?
So I realize this is kind of a competitor, so I won't mention it. But if familiar with the movie Happy Gilmore, they gave him like a free card for life. That'd be great. I'd even settle for a month if we could do something like that. That'd be awesome. So.
Any hint as the third quarter guest in your booth?
This would not be my first time interviewing this person.
Okay. Well, that narrows it down.
Yeah.
I
Rake,
feel
the
like
only
Rake
person you
is-
haven't interviewed is probably Gandhi. I mean, come on now.
You know, he was a little too passive aggressive for me. You know, wouldn't commit to being aggressive on things. Let's see here. This person's number is being worn by another Colt as we speak.
Okay.
Hey,
Now we're cooking with gas.
Okay, yeah. I might add one fighting for a roster spot if I could go a little bit further there. I don't want to say
okay.
too much more, but
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Okay.
Fair
All right,
statement.
okay. Greg Rakestraw, Rick Venturi, Lara Overton tomorrow. Special third quarter guest Carly Ursay-Gordon, game 3 of the preseasons. Typically when that unfolds, so that'll be next Saturday when it sounds like maybe a few more starters. Rake will be calling against the Lions. Rake, have a blast tonight, man. I know it's a big night for you. Brownsburg Ellen deserves your voice, so we'll be certainly checking it out.
Thanks, buddy. Mark, tell your sister-in-law I said hello.
Oh, God. Thanks, Rake.
Rake. That might have been Rake's best segment that he's had with us.
I wonder why.